Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube video, Instagram video of myself changing out some bearings and setting up a new deck. Gonna go through some of the products that I have here. So first we're going to start with these Bones Res Precision Skate bearings. We got that from myself and my friend John, got that from a skate shop called Slug. And also I have these 56 Pal Peralta Park Formulas, also by Sluggers. Going to be putting that on today with the reds. My other setup right now. They got nice red bushings. Got a nice little tag for your belt, keychain. And here is the board that I will be setting up today. I'm not familiar with the company because this is a one-of-a-kind board. So the company of this board is called Aces and Eights, and the shape of this deck is 8.5. Grip tape is killer, also from Aces and Eights. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paper towels down on the table to make sure none of the dirt from the bearings from when I changed my old board gets onto the table. Alright, and oops. These are the bearings that I'm going to be using. Pretty sure these are mini logos. I used to skate mini logos and they're pretty fast. I like them. And here's the other setup I'm going to be changing now. I'm going to change this setup first. Now I need to clean off the wheels of the trucks because that'll happen when you skate the park. Right now I have Slayer trucks on, same size, 149s I think, independent. This board is called Sugar by Aces and Eights too. Same with the grip tape. We have some Pal Peralta wheels on there. And we're not going to take the trucks off, we're just going to take the bearings off. Alright everyone, we're back. Glad to be back. Got Spitfire T-Tool, courtesy of John. Now we're going to start by taking off the nuts that are attached to truck wells, the truck arms, excuse me. That's a hiccup right there with the consumption of air. It's carbon dioxide. My nose and my mouth and my lungs. Yeah, I breathe it in, but I ain't got room for it. On my tongue because I need it, bro. Yeah, I love you anyway. So for me, what I prefer to do when I take off and change my bearings, I prefer to the bearings, the wheels one at a time, because these truck arms are a little bit sharp because of the threads and just for how
thin they are. So if you have like a wood table, always use a mat, always use some paper towels so that your surface doesn't get too dirty. Right now I'm using the paper towel because my wheels are super dusty because I was skating in an indoor park called Swish and Signal yesterday. To clarify, these are 159s. These aren't the same size as the 149s. So in these wheels, these Power Product wheels, I have spacers. These are called spacers, and they go around the wheel, the truck arm, to maximize wheel speed. And for me, saving bearings is great. It's a great thing. But replacing the balls, replacing this, the covers, it's a little bit tasking. But for beginners, I would recommend just purchasing a new set of bearings. They are a little bit expensive, at least $20, but it is recommended. So right now I have the bearings, the old bearings taken out, and now I'm going to find which side of the bearing slides on the best. Test out the speed to also see which side goes on. They look almost identical sides, so I'm just gonna pick a side. Now I put the wheel back on and grab my paper towel. Now you gotta be careful not to push too hard because you'll lose balance. So usually going in a circle motion helps the best by putting these on, so you're not just pushing straight down into your surface. And once you think you got it on enough, take it off with the paper towel. Should look like that. Now the next step is to take your next bearing, pick a side, any side you want. Doesn't matter, they spin, so that's what matters. And you flip the wheel around to the side that has no bearing, and you put the washer, or the spacer, you put the spacer in between the bearing and the wheel, and then do circular motions again. If the circular motions might not work, then it means you got the bearing on wrong, so try to switch it out. See if it'll go on a little better. If not, what I usually do, I grab towards the kingpins, I squeeze together so you're not pushing down into your surface so much, and they should slide on. Perfect. This is what they look like. The wheels look like with the bearings on. And then once I have all 4 wheels on, I put the nuts back on and I tighten the bearing, or I tighten the nut as tight as I can so that the bearings can be as tight as possible. Because if the bearings are loose, they could pop out, they could create tension on your nut to make the nut fall off, and then a disaster occurs. But with experience, and you should be able to have success with setting up your new wheels. So the next thing I'm doing right now is cleaning these washers. It's also very essential to get rid of that grime and that dirt. I make sure not to put the nut on yet. So the washers have 2 sides. They have a flattened side and a round side. It's usually easy to see, but I would get a flashlight so that you can correctly see. I put the round side closest to the truck so that the flat edge can perfectly be on the inside of the bearing. And then once you have your wheel on, you put the next bushing on. And what I do is I put the flat side on top of the bearing. And the next step is to clean off your nut. Clean the nut off. Put that nut on with your fingers, or if you like to put it on with the T-tool, make it quicker. Both work. I just put it on my fingers because I don't want to get the nut stuck in there. Sometimes they get stuck. So next step is to use your T-tool, your skate tool. The right side. Make sure to tighten it all the way up. Oops. I dropped my T-tool. Now I have the wheel tightened all the way up. The wheel can still spin, so that means the washers are working great. So try to use my strength to get that nut really tight. Make sure those bearings are nice and compact in there. I wouldn't use a drill because drills sometimes will shred those threads. You don't want that. Better just to do it with your hands. Usually with no washers, the trucks don't, or the wheels don't spin. But with these, they're spinning great. This is like the first time I've seen this, so I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck trying to figure out what is the best way to make these wheels spin fast. So right now, kind of puzzled about my work right now. Putting these new bearings on, so I'm going to unscrew the nut all the way. Not all the way right now, just you have to unscrew the nut at least to where it's just floating or it's still locked in, but at least a little bit of space from the washer. Spin the wheel a little bit. If it looks like it's wobbling, then the bearings might be off, but that's okay. Sometimes it's the graphic on the wheels that give off the illusion. So now that you know that it spins great, got some space, you can go ahead and tighten up that nut to your desired tightness. I like them a little bit loose. Sometimes when you're rolling around a lot outside, you want them a little bit tighter because of all those pebbles, all those little rocks, those rock shards out there. So I think that's my desired tightness. Don't want it too loose. Still figuring out how tight I want them. Alright. Now on to the next wheel. So what I'm gonna do is what I usually do is I try to remember which wheel I put on. But since we're doing this for the learning part, I'm going to switch to the other wheel directly beside the new wheel, the restored wheel, and I'm going to unscrew the nut on this next wheel, excuse me. And I would also recommend reusing your napkins, your towels. I would use paper towels because napkins sometimes shred very easily. If you want to, you can use speed cream or some type of bearing solution or some type of soap solution to help get that extra grime off. But even just scrubbing it off gets that little bit of most of that grime off, that dirt. So right now I'm just gonna lift the wheel off, take these washers out. The washer doesn't stick on the back side of the wheel. You take your paper towel, you twist a couple times, and that washer should come up. The next step is I'm gonna clean off the truck arm. I would say that you can use these paper towels at least on 2 wheels. So you can get one paper towel, one edge of the paper towel, one square. You can rip it in half, and you can use one slice on 2 wheels. So when you have your bearings laid out on your table, on your surface, on your covered platform, you got to make sure that your old bearings stay away from the new ones. So what I do is I put these old bearings away. They got a little bit of dust on them. I'm pretty sure these are Mini logos too. I cannot tell. These are Bones. These are Bones. Bones are pretty fast, reliable. I like them. Always skated them. So now what we do is we're going to clean off the washers. Make sure you grab your washer sheet instead of the bearing sheet. I usually use the bearing sheet with the truck arm sheet as the truck arm sheet. So you're going to use one sheet as the cleaning, as for the purpose to clean your bearings and your truck arms. So you could save on trash. So all you gotta do is pick up that washer, rub it in between your index finger and your thumb a little bit. Put that washer back down, grab the next washer, clean it off. Sometimes some dirt gets stuck on the inside, but it's kind of hard. You kind of need like a Q-tip to get the rest of that dirt off. So now we are going to not take the new bearing. We're going to take the old bearings, take them off. You put them on the truck arm. You pull towards you and kind of rotate it as you pull off to minimize it ripping off, because you don't want to hurt yourself by either throwing or rubbing your wrist into the truck arm or hitting the wood. It's not pleasant. So as long as you can keep yourself safe, go through the process easily, you'll stay safe. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take off this last bearing, put that wheel down, take the bearing off with the paper, put that bearing down, sorry, I'm just looking at these bearings because the back of 3 of these bearings don't have shields, but this one bearing has shields on both sides. So I'm thinking it's from another company, but it's not. It must be just part of the bearing set. So now I don't think I showed earlier to clean the spacer. I would use a Q-tip because spacers might gather up some dirt in there. So now that your washers and your 2 washers and your spacers are clean, you can now grab your new bearing, slide that bearing on, make sure to always stand up so you don't hurt yourself. And then remember, when you're first putting on that first bearing, you can rotate it because it'll come on easy. Rotating is perfect. Perfect for sliding that bearing in. Make sure all sides of that bearing are locked in. Pull it out, check it out, make sure it looks nice. Now next step is get that next bearing, slide it on, get your spacer, slide it on, get your wheel. Now circling doesn't work, so now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab with my ring finger on the, I don't know what this part of the truck is called, but let's say the neck of the truck. We're gonna grab the neck of the truck with the pinky, rest the middle fingers on the bushing well and the main surface of the truck, and then on my left hand the ring finger is cupping underneath that bushing well, and then you just squeeze. And it should slide right on. You don't need to pull too hard because we're about to use the technique of screwing on the bolt. Make sure those bearings are tightened up. Now next step, clean off your nut. Put that nut on your truck arm. Screw it on, screw it on, screw it on. You can take a relaxing sit now. Fix yourself, get a drink. Now next step, screw it on as much as you can. Hold that wheel down so your board's not going anywhere. Tighten it up. It's hard a little bit, but you got it. Wheel can still spin. You don't even need to test how much the wheel spins, but the whole purpose is tightening is just to compact those bearings in. All right. And when you're untightening it, make sure to hold the wheel again so your board doesn't go anywhere. If you don't want dirt on your hands, grab your little towel. If you don't want to use paper towels, get a rag that you can call your skate rag. Take the wheel off. Look at your bearings. Can your spacer move? Yep, it can move. All right, so we're ready for the next step. Let's put those washers on. Pick your side. Make sure it's the right side. Round side down, flat side up. Now next step, put that wheel on however you want it. Oops, got the paper towel stuck. All right, slid on great. Now next washer. Flat side down, round side up. Excuse me. Had a little hiccup right there. Now, next step, get your nut. Get your nut right here. Screw it on. Grab your T-tool. Screw it on. Oops, excuse me. Test both wheels so they're around the same tightness. run. I like to go fast, so I don't have to push so much. So I loosen up those nuts a little bit. Wheels can now spin freely a little bit more. Now that you're done with those two, you flip your board over. Flip it over this way so the camera can see. All right, now we got 2 wheels left for the next board. Unscrew that nut. Take the washers out. So with these washers, I just had the top washer round side down, flat side up. So I was thinking that the best way to maximize my speed was to put the flat side closer to the nut, because the nut, the underside is flat. Would make sense, but the nut's not totally flat. It's technically round. So round side on the nut would make sense. So now next step, grab that wheel. Actually, before that, clean off that truck arm, get it a little shiny. If you notice your napkin's starting to rip, it's okay. You got another one. Plus you have only 1 wheel left, so maybe you can stick through it. Make sure to always rotate your wrist away from the truck arm. Take that bearing off. Never want to rip out your bearing on top of a bearing. It won't work as well. Next step, take that last bearing off. Turn away from you. Take it off. Next step, clean your washers. Clean the other one. Oops. Washer's running away. All right. Now, next step, clean that spacer. If you have an Allen key or a tool like this, you can stuff the paper inside. Maybe not use the tool. Drag it through, twist it around. Get that little bit of grime off. No need to use that tool. It's a little bit easier, a whole lot easier just to use your fingers. So now, next step, put the old bearings in your corner, away from the old ones. Get your new one. Oops. Oops. There they go. Right away. All right. Oops. Forgot. Use your paper towel. Make sure to rotate. You're not pushing down so much. And once you think it's down, I would grab the truck. Push it down a little bit. Usually you don't need to because you're already doing that rotation, so it slides on easy. Now, next step, grab your other bearing, slide that spacer on, grab the wheel, put your paper towel on, grab the truck, squeeze, should slide on perfect. Voila. All right, now next step, put that wheel on, that wheel back on, put your nut back on, get your T-tool, tighten it up. If you don't feel like sitting down, standing up works too. It's just a lot of bending over. All right, my wheel's tightened up. Don't have to test the speed of it yet because the washers are. Oops, excuse me, because the washers aren't on yet. Unscrew that nut all the way. Alright, your washers are already clean, so you can slide those washers on. Slide the washer on, put the truck on. Slide that next washer on. Flat side down, round side up for when you're putting that last washer on. Screw the nut on. Get your T-tool. Make sure it's the correct side. So, correct side is if you have a T-tool like this that has this angled Phillips head. If you have an angled tool on your angled Phillips head on your tool, the side that's pointing is the side that you use on these nuts for the truck arm. You just tighten it up to your desired tightness. I think that's a little bit too slow, so I'm gonna loosen it up. That's a little bit too loose, so I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit. Test it. That's perfect. I thought it was a little bit too loose, so I'm gonna tighten it up one more notch. Still a little bit too loose for me. A secret way to tell that your nuts are too tight or too loose is just to barely put it on so that it's not touching the bearings, and then you can spin your wheel, tighten it up, and then once it's fully tight, it'll stop. So now you can loosen it up a little bit. Try it again. Wiggle that wheel a little bit. If there's a little bit more space, spin the wheel again. A little bit more room, spinning the wheel again, tightening it up. All right, that's the tightness that I want. So now you're done with that. Now the next, your last wheel. Do the same thing again. Unscrew that nut. Put the nut down. Take your wheel. Get that washer off. To really get the next washer, the bottom washer off, I use my fingertips and I use a circular motion back and forth, twisting motion back and forth to get that washer off. You can clean that last washer now that you have it. Alright, clean that truck arm off. So once you clean the truck arm off, you can technically throw this towel, this napkin away that you've been using. So I'm gonna throw that away. Keep that there. I'm now use my other napkin that was for the bearings. And now I'm going to clean that last washer. Careful you don't rip the towel. Clean it lightly. Put your washer down. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the truck with the towel. Rip off. Twist off, the bearing. Flip that wheel around. Twist off that last bearing. No need to clean these ones yet. You can save that for another time. Or you can get a Bones Bearings bearing cleaner set. They sell them online. They sell them on Powell Peralta's website. I have not used one yet correctly, so I don't have a rating for them, but I've heard that they work really well. So when you have dirty towels, make sure they're on that. They're not on your surface. They're on your mat or your towels. Now, next step is you're going to grab your last set bearings. grab the wheel, get the paper towel, put it on, do your circular motions on that first bearing. It should slide on very easily. Slid on perfect. Put that wheel down, grab your last bearing, slide it on, grab that washer, the spacer, excuse me. Flip that wheel around. Put the paper towel over the wheel, grab the truck, and the bushing, squeeze. Went on great. Alright, you got both washers clean. You don't gotta, because we do that before we put the bearings on. Remember, round side down, flat side up. Slide your wheel on. Get that last bearing on, or that last wheel on. And we're going to do flat side down, round side up. Now get that last nut. If you didn't clean it off, clean it off. Screw the nut on. Your T-tool, or any tool that you have. I recommend T-tool because they got everything you need on here. You don't need to tighten it up all the way. Check the spacing, the speed. That's perfect. So now I'm going to check it one more time. Spin it really fast. Wiggle this on. And I did it bad right there. Standing up. Always help yourself out. Make it easier for yourself. Nearsighted or you're farsighted. Help yourself. Make it easier for yourself. If you're nearsighted, get closer to it. If you're farsighted, stand farther away. So I'm testing the speed right now in the space of the nut to the bearing. Slowly tightening it. Tightening the nut. Testing the space. I like the space right now. I'm going to spin it one more time. Tighten up just a little more. I'm going to tighten up a little more and I'm going to leave it there so we can get on to the next board. Alright, it's a little bit tight. So I'm going to do one little. Perfect. Alright, so that completes the tutorial for changing out your bearings. Shout out to Mini Logos, Switch and Signal. Switch and Signal gave me a good deal on these Mini Logos. Now you can put your board away that you just switched out your bearings with. Now if you have a little bag, you can put those pieces of trash in there. So right now, I have nothing to repair. So you can throw all those used towels, napkins, these towels away if you're using paper towels. Now you have your used bearing. Fix them up or clean them. Usually I don't clean my bearings. I usually don't take off the shields and take out the balls and clean them up. But it is recommended to do that. If you have experience in doing that, please keep on doing that. And now we're going to start putting together this board. Great grip tape job by me. Great grip tape art. Now I don't have deep holes punctured, so right now we're going to puncture the holes. You take your angle iron, make sure it's elongated, or get a or get your, usually people use the bolts because they have a bigger surface area. I was using the angle iron and it was kind of ripping apart the grip tape. So right now we're going to use the bolts to puncture the grip tape. Grab some scissors, carefully cut along. I usually fold it on top of the scissors. Use some scissors carefully. Put your scissors back. Now, what we're gonna do, use these 2 napkins, cover up the old bolts or the old bearings. Take your remaining plastic, your trash, throw it away. Make sure all your trash is thrown away so it's not lingering around. Make sure all your nuts and bolts are all how you want them. I usually put my bolts face down. Some people screw on the nuts to the bolts so that the bolts, like if you're at the skate park, sometimes you set up on a hubba, or maybe not a hubba, but usually you set up yourself on a bench, on the ground, or on a ledge. Screw on the nuts to the bolt. You don't have to put them on all the way, just make sure that they're nice and on there so they won't go anywhere. Now, if you have extra trash, throw it away. Throwing it away. If you get a sticker in your bolt package, put it somewhere where you can get to it, where you can see it so you don't mistake it for trash. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the board grip tape side down carefully. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slide that bolt right in. Now we're not going to try to puncture it because that uplifts the grip tape. What we're going to do is we're just going to create a little bulge so that we can see the bulge, so that we can drill into that bulge. Now put your finger on there. If you can feel the bulge, great, that's good news. If you push down and that grip tape comes up, it means you're pushing down too hard, so try to screw it around. Turn it, twist and turn it, twist and turn it. Once you got your fingers under there, you can feel that bulge coming. You can push down a little harder, make that bulge more prominent. Now, next hole, do the same thing. Twist around, push down, feel that bulge. Last one. Alright, I feel the bulge, twisting, push, twist, push. Alright. So what I like to do is I like to go immediately into drilling those holes. Because sometimes if you have a good grip tape job, if that air is really, if there's no air underneath the grip tape, there's no air pockets, and it's really easy for that grip tape to squeeze that bulge back out. So what we're going to do now is we have a little bit of room on our table. So I'm going to use my right hand to prop up the board. I'm going to use this short side of this angle iron tool. I'm going to push down on the bulge, twist and turn, twist and turn. You should find the hole. Ah, there we go. Slides right in. Perfect. Find that bulge, Don't worry if you lose your bulge, you can always grab that bolt again and reset that bulge. Twist and turn. You don't want to hit with your tool, it's really dangerous. So just make sure to have full control over it. Do a little twist and turn, twist and turn, twist and turn. Push down a little bit, there we go. Alright. So now that we have the holes poked through, if you guys can see that. Now that we have the holes poked through, going to try to put a bolt in there, twist it around, see if it gets in there. Alright, it's hard to get in there, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this angle iron tool. Maybe the short side, wiggle it around in there. Make sure you can expand that hole a little more. If you can't, it's okay. But just try your best to expand that hole a little better. Make that bolt hole a little bit more wider. Now try to just screw that bolt in. You don't need to hit it. You don't need to hit it with your palm. Try to screw it in there. And once you have it in there, push down with your thumb. Should push down. Should push right in. Great. Now that we have one bolt in, what I used to do as a young kid, I would just put the truck on, screw the truck on, and then screw the rest of the bolts on. And I think that's what we might do. But for the video, let's just plug the rest of these holes. Let's do it another way. Twist that bolt in. Twist, 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 twist. You've already expanded these holes enough. So once you have it in there, you can just wiggle it with your thumb. Make sure that bolt gets in there. Twist, 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 twist. Make sure that tip gets in there. Twist, twist, twist. Sometimes it's a little harder, but once you have it in there, you can wiggle with your thumb, push down, and the bolt will easily sink right into those holes. There we go. Alright, now next step, put the board Primo style on its edge. Usually some people rip off the sticker. I don't have any X-Acto knives around me right now, so I'm not going to rip them off. What we're going to do is we're going to slide that truck on. Flip it down. Put your right hand or left hand. I'm using my right hand. I'm putting my right hand underneath the bolts. You grab your nut. Slowly twist it on. You don't want to push down too much. Make sure every single nut is on. All 4 nuts are on. Once you have that first nut on, you can let go. Let go of that nut that's already on the bolt. Or you can let go of the bolt that has the nut already screwed on. Second nut is screwed on. Grab that third nut. Screw it on. Fourth nut, screw it on, screw it on, screw it on. Alright, we got the nuts on. Now what we can do is we can grab our T-tool, our skate tool. We call it a T-tool because it looks like a T. And take your Phillips head. Try to do this so that you guys can see, so the viewers can see. And now what I'm doing is I have my T-tool in my left hand, I have my Phillips head in my right hand. Now what we do is we put the T-tool on first, Phillips head in, and I try to screw as much as I can while turning the tool. I try to screw that Phillips head. Once it's tight, it's in there, then I'm gonna make sure it's slammed tight, because then you'll be uplifting the grip tape too much. What I do is I try to go counterclockwise or clockwise. I don't try to go diagonal because that usually uplifts the grip tape too much. Make sure when you're tightening that the bolts are nice and flat, but not too tight. Now, I just went diagonal and I corrected, so that's good. You got good self-awareness. I got good self-awareness, so that's good. We're gonna make the plug come out right. So we're gonna go right across, right next to the bottom bolt, to the next bottom bolt, screw it. I couldn't screw that well, so no worries. You can just hold that Phillips head, screw that bolt in. Get that. We're gonna get this last bolt in, screw. You could probably only do 1 or 2 screws, rotations of your Phillips head. Now, the chucks are tight, or the bolts are tight. So now that you have them tight enough, you can tighten them up on your own as much as you want. Right now, I'm just gonna make sure that I do a full rotation, so I have them pretty lined up perfectly. If it seems off, do a rotation to make sure your T-tool is straight, and then do a full rotation, and your bolts should be perfectly tight. I was about to take a bathroom break. But we're not gonna take a bathroom break right now. We're gonna finish this board up. All right, I'm just gonna sit back down now. Flip the board back on the grip tape side. Gotta make sure it's recording still. All right, we're still good. All right, now what we're gonna do, just gonna put our left hand under, using our right hand to screw, or use the bolt to twist and push. Not too hard, just hard enough to make a bulge. All right, I don't feel enough bulge, so my hands are hurting. So I'm gonna use my Phillips head. Twist, push down a little bit, push down a little bit. Sometimes people like to puncture through the back, the bottom of the board, because it pushes out the grip tape, flares out the grip tape. But to save the grip tape, you gotta put your hands underneath the grip. Make sure that you're not pushing a whole piece of grip tape up, especially if you have a design grip tape, like a different type of design you want to do, that you have done. But if you have a full sheet of grip on there, usually you can just bang them out with the flat side of the Phillips head. But I won't right now, because I want this to come out great. I want that grip tape to stick on there, so I don't have to worry about any air pockets. Twist, push. All right, we're good. Release the bolt. Flip it over. We got this truck on, so we can look at the bulges. Flip the board around so you can see it on this side. We got the light. We'll flip it on its side. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the angle iron tool. Find the bulge. Push down, twist, push. Now since you already have the hole punctured, you can make the process a little quicker and wiggle that angle iron tool around in that bolt hole. Oops. Make sure to hold that board firmly tight. And you're pushing in. Twist, 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 push, push, push. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Try to go clock. Try to follow the rotation of the clock, counterclockwise or clockwise. You don't want to overlap yourself. Twist, twist, twist. Push, push, push. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Next bolt hole, our last bolt hole, fourth one. Twist, twist, twist. Push, push, push. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Alright. Now that we have that done, we can unscrew that bolt that we just tied together with that nut, or screw together with the nut. Wiggle it in, wiggle it in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wiggle all of them in. Try to put this truck on with all 4 bolts punctured through. I'm going to flip the board around. Now what we're going to do, make sure we're close to the nail, or this is the nose. Make sure we're close to the nose. Put all 4 fingers onto every bolt, every one of the bolts. Push that truck on. Truck should stay on there by itself. It's not on its belly or on its back. Screw all your nuts on. Right now I'm going clockwise. This is a great way to trust yourself. It's a great way to also create a better sense of hand-eye coordination, because you're doing it without seeing it, especially on this bolt, that bottom bolt. You won't see it unless you're standing up. Right now I'm sitting down because my back hurts. So we got all nuts, all bolts on. So now what we're gonna do, leave the board there. Grab your T-tool, grab your Phillips head. Right now, we're gonna do it the same way we did with this way. We're gonna do this front truck the same way we did with the back truck, so nothing feels too different. Put your Phillips, put your T-tool on first, so you can squeeze that bolt up, so you can drill it in. Put your Phillips head in, squeeze. Do a couple drills or twists of the Phillips head. Alright. That bolt's tight. Continue on to the next one. Twist. And twist. If you can't twist anymore, it's alright. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure when you have your T-tool, I'll flip my board around. Every time I'm twisting these nuts up, you can see that any way that I put this T-tool on, or the correct way, I guess. If you put it on one way, it's going to be even, but if you put it on the wrong way, like this way, it's going to be uneven. But as long as you can leave off with seeing your T-tool evenly flat where you left it, your tightness ratio should come out great. Now what we're going to do is go back to that same bolt, because remember where we left off. Tighten it up, tighten it up. Can't use the Phillips head anymore, can't tighten it up anymore. So I'm going to do more rotations of the T-tool. Alright, my bolt is tight. I'm going to do one more rotation with the T-tool to make sure that the T-tool is level. I'm going to do screw on, screw this last bolt on, screw, screw. Alright, I can't use the Phillips head anymore. Use the T-tool. Alright, T-tool is level. After you're done with your Phillips head, put it right back into place. Now what you can do, since your bolts are tight enough, you can put that T-tool right on that nut, tighten it up. If you need to do more turns, take the Phillips head off, do a couple turns, alright. Keep following the order of the bolts. Twist, alright, it's tight enough. Last bolt, twist, and there we go. Now this is what it looks like. To have your bolts, nuts, and trucks completely screwed on and tightened onto your board. We go around, test your trucks. Yep, doesn't sound hollow, doesn't sound like the trucks aren't on there all the way. So you're set. Now we're going to be putting on the wheels. So what I would do is put your board face down, or grip tape down, not face down, grip tape down. So since I need more space, I'm going to remove these bearings because they're getting in the way a little bit. This right here, check on the film. All right, we're good still. So now what we're gonna do is grab our scissors, open up our new bearings. Be careful, always cut away from you. Be careful with scissors. If you need to, just cut right into the box. You got bearings in there, so there's no need to be afraid of destroying anything. The only thing that you could destroy is stickers, but usually you don't need stickers. All right, now that we have, put your scissors away, don't forget. Now that we have this open, you have a choice. You can take off like these little stickers. As a little kid, I always loved to take these little stickers off, reuse them. I like the extra designs. I like it for the pictures. Whenever you take pictures, whenever somebody takes a picture of you, you can get that extra stamp on there, that extra certification stamp, extra certified stamp. All right, we didn't cut our red sticker. Make sure our red sticker's totally not wrinkled up. Came out wrinkled. A little wrinkled. It's okay, we can't unwrinkle it fully. That's alright. Alright. So now what we do is take our bearings out. Put our bearings down. Looks like we got an instruction case in here. It's awesome that Bones Bearings does that. Congratulations, you have just purchased very high quality skate bearings. Your new Bones Reds bearings are precision made in our facility in China to our geometric specifications, offering you a superior roll at an affordable price. Wow. They got a whole bunch of maintenance instructions on here. They got cleaning instructions. I'm not going to go through them right now because I'm already looking at the ending words, skate safe and fast, and have fun. And I'm already excited. But, yep, you got all the instructions on here. If you ever purchase bearings, I recommend Reds bearings. Purchase them up. Support that company. Shout out Reds, Bones Bearings. Alright, and if you want to, rip it up, do what you need to do. now that we have our bearings, we can unscrew these bolts that have, I'm going to unscrew the bolts that have these keychains on them, because I collect these keychains. And I love the keychains. So I'm not going to keep the stage 6 because it's has, or whatever that number is. I'm going to keep this keychain, this Slayer keychain. So cool. Such a cool keychain. I'm gonna put that on in my fanny pack along with the other Slayer keychain. Unscrew the next one. I would keep your nuts on the same truck arm so that you don't mix yourself up. Throw away the paper. Keep the plastic Slayer keychain. Set it off the side so it's not in the way. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to screw this nut back on so that we just have one truck arm to deal with. Now our last object is the 56 Power Pro to Park formulas. So cool. These are McGill's, Mike McGill's wheels. So cool, shout out Mike McGill, vert skater, part of the Power Pro team. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our scissors, come right here, make a little cut. Don't need to push too hard. Cut again. Once you have that little edge cut open, use your pointer finger, rip it up, tear it up, get hype. You got some new wheels. Put them on your deck. That's where they're gonna go. Check if you got any stickers, any promotions. Nothing. Good. No stickers. Great. Alright. So now we have no spacers, we just have washers and bearings. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off one washer, flip the board on its side, Primo style. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one bearing, put the shield side down. How you know it's a shield is because it's usually colored, and these ones have clear siding so that you can see the balls. Put that down, shield side down, pick whichever side of the wheel you want to start with. I'm going to start with the back side of the wheel, rotate, push down a little bit, rotate. You want to do small rotations. I was doing big rotations, it wasn't working. So try to do small rotations, make sure it's completely on there. Spin it around, make sure it's all good. Grab your next bearing. Slide the bearing under the truck arm. Now no need to twist it on, just squeeze it on. Alright, now you can see a little bit, it's lifted up a little bit, so now we can use that method of using the bolt. So you already have the bottom bolt, or the back side, which has no design on it. That side, it was easily able to install a bearing. So now what you can do is you can get your T-tool, flip that wheel design side down that has the bearing lifted up, and you can screw that nut onto the truck arm to tighten those bearings. They have a little bit extra space, but there's no spacers in there. Make sure it's not too tight. One more turn. Alright, set. Screw Unscrew, 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 unscrew. Once it's loose enough, you can take it off. Check that bearing. Alright, it's a little bit pushed down. It's kind of hard for the camera to see. But it's definitely a lot more pushed down. I'll try to make an edit in the film. So if you can't tell, I can kind of tell which is the round side of this washer. I usually do round side down, flat side up. I like to see the design. Sometimes people like to put the design on the inside to save the wheel design so that they can skate it a different day. Skate that design for another day. They got a competition. So now we do round side down, flat side down, round side up. Screw that nut on. If you feel impatient, you can just leave it there. You can continue on setting up the rest of your wheels. So right now I'm just gonna take the time to make sure that these individual wheels are tightened the right way. The washers are making crazy sounds over there. Hissing at me. Usually if you can get this part of the experience, if you can get this right, you'll be able to do this a lot quicker. Also, it's not about the speed, also, just about how well you do it, how confident you are with doing this. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip the board around. Actually, no, we're not going to flip the board around. Just going to keep going. Alright, I can't unscrew it. They tighten up the pants on pretty well. Use that T-tool. Nut popped right off. Take both washers off so you don't damage the washers too much when you're putting the bearings on. Starting with graphic side up. Do those rotations. Once you got it in there, no need to push down anymore. Now next task, put your next bearing down. No need to rotate, just squeeze. Alright, that one went on perfect. No need to tighten up. No need to tighten that up. Round side down, flat side up. Put the wheel on with the bearings. Flat side down, round side up. Put the nut on. Be comfortable with going a little bit faster if you want. Alright, that's a perfect tightness for me. So what I'm going to do is flip the board around. Tie grip tape side towards grip tape. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Grip tape side towards me. If you ever think about doing this and for a video for other viewers, this is a great way to let these new people, adults, teens, young adults experience it. Young children experience this. So don't forget, rotate, rotate, rotate. No need to push too hard. Next bearing. Squeeze, squeeze. Came on perfect, great. Flat side or round side down, flat side up. Slide the wheel on. Flat side down. Round side up. Screw it on, screw it on, screw it on, screw it on. Once you got that a little bit tight, spin that wheel. Spin that wheel again. So the technique I'm using, I'm putting the T-tool in between, resting on my 3 fingers right here, and then I'm putting it in between my middle finger and my pointer finger to make sure that when I put it on the nut, I'm easily able to see how much space there is between the nut and the bearing. Got a little bit more space, spin the wheel. Alright. A little bit too tight, a little bit too loose. Gotta be careful to not hit that bearing while it's spinning. Alright, we're good, we're set. Last one, I'm so excited because I'm gonna get some to drink honestly. Alright, take those washers off. Get your 2 last bolts. Bearings, excuse me. Circle, circle, circle. Twist, twist a little bit. Look at it. Alright, looks spectacular. Now get your fingers. Squeeze. Get your fingers. Squeeze. And now round side down, flat side up on the bottom washer. Flat side down, round side up. Top washer. Screw on the nut. Screw, screw, screw. Now grab your T-tool, twist up, twist up, twist it up. Now once you twist it up enough, put it in between your pointer finger and your middle finger. Spin that wheel. Tighten it up, spin it again. Alright, it's a little bit too tight. Loosen it up, a little bit too loose. Use the technique again. Perfect. Board is set up. That is a finished product. Not completely finished. I'm gonna put the stickers on. We got 1 sticker here. We got the pals on. Got the slayers on. We got the bones on. And we got the shorties on. Alright, last step. Now once you're done with your T-tool, make sure it is put together. Return to, if you borrowed it, return it to the owner. And now the next step is to peel your stickers. Going to peel the shorty sticker first. Right, so for me, I do a lot of front side tricks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it next to the truck. Use that plastic from the sticker. Put it on there, drag it across the sticker. Peel your sticker. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it above the truck. Rest it on there. Use the glossy side, which is where the sticker came off from. All you do is you press firmly down, put it at more like an angle so you get all the air pockets out. and then just keep going at it till all those air pockets are firmly squeezed out of the sticker. So the sticker can stay on there, especially if you do a lip trick. And once you got it on there good enough, you can just rub back and forth to create good friction. If your sticker doesn't stick on that well, it's because it's been in the shop for a while. For me, it's been in the shop for a while, so my sticker is not sticking too well, which is okay. Stickers aren't meant to stick. They're meant to look good. They're meant to, impress the kids. So now what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna show you the board now. Shorty sticker, right above the bottom truck. Red sticker, Bones Bearing sticker, right under the top truck. And then we have the certificate sticker right next to the top truck. So now, going to take some pictures outside of these two skateboards and post them up on my social media page. Thank you so much, Pal Peralta, Independence, Bones Bearings, Shorties, Aces and Eights, and Mini Logo, and Switch and Signal. Shout out to Switch and Signal for the Slayer trucks and the Mini Logos. I really appreciate that. You guys came in clutch for me. Big time. Here's the grip tape one more time. I'm gonna get the other board so you guys can see comparison. Here's a grip tape job with a full sheeted grip that I did, and then here's a grip tape job that I did with a designed full sheeted grip where I cut it apart. I'll be taking pictures of both of them, letting you guys see more about these boards. Both of these boards are from the Aces and Eights company. Here's their designs. Love it a lot. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much. Right now what I'm doing is just cleaning up the surface area, all this trash. Gotta get it up, gotta get it out of the way. So with your bearings, if you don't, your elbows don't have a baggie for them, find a baggie. I would keep them in the paper towel that I have them in, you have them in, anyone else has them in. Keep them in that paper towel. They are very dirty. They don't need to be touching plastic right now. So I got some paper towel, or I got some napkins in here. So what I'm gonna do is try to wrap these bearings up, get these bearings set. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna throw this away. And another thing, always wash your hands with soap and hot water, and then after you're done washing your hands, take a nice cold shower. I know a lot of people don't like taking cold showers. They like using that heat, but cold showers kind of help you out a little more. They keep certain bacteria off you that dwell in hot water, but then some people say, hey, what about the bacteria that are in cold water? And I say, hey, bacteria are going to be in any form of bacteria will be in any type of water, but you have to realize that you're putting harmful substances in dirt and soil, places from the earth that you usually don't come in contact with onto your skin when you're changing these boards out and the objects that are on them. So my guess is that, you know, everybody has their own way to keep themselves clean. But what I do is I wash my hands with hot water, soak for 10 seconds, and then I go take a nice cold shower. That's me. That's what I do. So one last look at the Slayer pins. Shout out Independence, Slayer.